I'd rather sign Guimaraes than Arthur. So
Yeah, I can't
that's
disagree
kind
with
of
that.
where I'm at.
I'm with you on that, man. I mean, I would love Arthur. You made a great point, and it's true. And I feel a lot of people don't attribute the fact of their current form, their minutes and stuff. Like if we was to sign Isaac on top of January just being difficult, his team, and maybe it's just the team, but he's not really firing. And you know how Arsenal fans are. All our hopes would be on somebody like that. You made a great point, and I kind of said that in my earlier stream about Jack Wilshere. Like I know he's been training well, he's going to Dubai, but it's like when last did he play 90 minutes? Even if he plays, he's not in the best of physical condition. The Arthur Melo one, again, it looked like it was happening. It seems like it's not. I think it's right up the street of Odegaard, another one who ironically, you know, joined in January, probably struggled a bit. So I'm all for that. But I agree with you. You said it there. And to repeat, if anyone didn't hear, I'd rather Bruno over Melo and then Melo over nothing, really, because I just feel, again, do you feel that this could be a decisive period for Arsenal? Because I keep saying it, and I genuinely think in May, beyond the obvious, we're going to look back at January and say, this is where we really kicked on and done something, or this is where it kind of all was lost. And I just feel the players, they're the ones playing, they've got to take responsibility. Arteta and Edu were blatantly told, you're in charge of transfers. And I think both of them would have to soldier responsibility for any failings to get Europe. Now, I do think we have a chance. We've hit a bit of a wobble, but it just feels like whenever we have an opportunity to really press, for whatever reason, we buckle at that chance, man.
Yeah, I think you're right. It is that crucial period. And I think it will be one that we look back on and say, this is where we won or lost our sort of our kind of desire and our ability to go and get that top four. So the way I see it, like, I just wish I could like plead with Mikel Arteta and say, guys, you've done such good work so far.
Don't let it down, yeah.
Beyond all expectation, like, please don't ruin it now, because the fans are with you. Even like, for example, big calls with Mikel and Aubameyang. You know, you mentioned that Jack Wilshere's gone to Dubai. As far as I know, Aubameyang hasn't.
Where do you stand on that as well? Sorry to cut you, man.
I'm really conflicted. It's like a real slap in the face. But if Arteta does not feel that Aubameyang is doing the basics that he needs from him, then you can't just have him, you know, lingering around just for a free holiday sort of thing. You know, you have to maintain that energy and that sort of that discipline. I think it would just mix the issues. On the other hand, the reason why I say I mix is, on the other hand, if Arteta did invite him, sort of invited him into his office and said, look, you know, Aubameyang, I don't want you to feel like you're being sidelined or exiled, so you're welcome to come along. We want to be a positive influence on the squad. You know, even you're a very good player, even if you're not in the team, you raise the bar. When we're doing our finishing drills and stuff, you will raise the bar, so you still have a part to play.
That's a good point. Training. Facts.
Yeah, even if it's not as important a part as you'd want. And that, to me, could have just been the opportunity for an olive branch, you know, and to see if it can be reintegrated. Because, you know, we're talking about contingency plans, yeah? The best of planners will not only have a contingency to plan A, they'll have a contingency to the contingency.
And a backup in that case, yeah, facts.
Somewhere along the line of those contingency plans, reintegrating Aubameyang should be our last resort, because that's better than signing nobody.
And persisting with Laka and Eddie, where respectfully, they ain't scored many goals in the league. Smith Rowe's got more goals than Laka, respectfully. If someone who's trying to learn to score is scoring more than you, it is what it is. And we're a few injuries away from maybe having Aubameyang. I think it's personally cutting off your nose to spite your face, man.
Exactly, yeah. And this Dubai trip could have been that olive branch where Arteta's not sacrificing his principles, but he is just kind of saying, okay, even if he did it from the other angle of, we're not going to leave you here to just mess around. You're coming, you're working, you're going to go and do the flipping media stuff in Dubai, whatever. Like, just
you're going to earn your 300k a week, whatever a month somehow. Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. When you're doing that photo shoot with Emirates Airlines, stick Aubameyang on there. Like, I don't really care what it is. It could have been an olive branch, and I find that very regrettable. But this is not to say that I'm on Aubameyang's side. I do trust Arteta that. Because, you know, who the hell wouldn't want Aubameyang? Against Burnley, I felt like he was exactly what we needed to come off the bench, you know. I'm sure Arteta's frustrated by it. But, hey, look, that's the manager. That's the sort of decision he'll live and die by.
And that's the problem. It's like, again, it's difficult to really comment without knowing everything. And that's why I asked you, because you articulated perfectly in that, you know, there's reasons for and against Arteta's approach. Aubameyang the same, and that grey area, which is the cold-hearted truth, we'll never know it, which is scary. And for me, it's a thing where you look at someone like Tuchel. I know the situation isn't the same, but clearly Lukaku's peed him off equally. But he realizes, okay, we're trying to do this Champions League thing. We're doing whatever we're doing. It's a long season. We need to play the game a bit smart, and that's where I feel, without knowing all the variables, you've dealt yourself a problem. I guess leaving him here might tempt him to say, for all the rumors of leaving, you need to sort out your future. But again, I think with every week that we do this, you kind of leave the scope to kind of, like you said, with that olive branch. And cold-heartedly, for me at base level, if something happens with our strikers, with Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah, you need someone else. The next step you're looking at is probably what I would like, Martinelli through the middle. And I know a lot of people, you've probably heard it on your channels, entertain the idea of maybe Pepe as a false nine. I don't know that. Maybe that's being done because a striker will arrive by the end of the month. I really don't know. I would say, like you said, I think it's a bit harsh, and I feel it's a bit like the Ozil thing, where whether we're doing good or bad, it's mentioned. You mentioned, I'm going to ask you on Burnley in a sec, but you mentioned the Burnley game. Now, when we was doing the business before the turn of the year, we're scoring goals, rightly so. No one's going to mention Aubameyang because we are doing what we're doing. Naturally, whether his form is there or not, we're going to ask about it, like against Burnley. And that's my problem. If you're going to take someone out of the team and alienate them, make it be so that we don't ask the question, what's going on there, sort of thing. And that's where I don't understand it. And like you said, the most important point for me is that, we haven't really got a striker or a centre mid in before that Dubai trip. And, this is the best time really to sign people. You've got a bit of a gap for the Wolves game. So maybe they could integrate, maybe even start whoever that was, really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really too attached really to who comes in. I don't care if it's Guendouzi and Aubameyang or if it's Guimaraes and Isaac. We just need those reinforcements.
Facts.
And at some point, Arteta, come on, man. You've shown that you can be the disciplinarian. You've shown that you can burn the bridges. Now let's see that other side of your game, that more emotionally intelligent side of your game. It's very easy to destroy relationships. Anyone can do that. That requires zero intelligence to maintain, strengthen, and repair relationships. That's where I feel like you get players running through brick walls for you.
This is it.
And this is the acute level of man management that Mikel Arteta lacks. You look at Jurgen Klopp, his players love him.
Die for him.
Love him.
And that's the thing, and that's what scares me, because obviously you can do it with Ozil, where, let's be honest, he had a lot of people who loved him. He had a lot of people that were happy to see the back of him, whether they liked Arteta or not. With Aubameyang, the form makes it a thing. I don't think it will happen, but what if there's problems with players that we actually need, like just to throw Saka out there? How are we going to react to that? Because you need him week in, week out. It's very easy to do it with people whose form's gone and things like that, and that's what scares me. You kind of mentioned it. What do you make of the Burnley game anyways? Because to say it was a mischance is an understatement. To say it's frustrating is an understatement. I've said enough about the game. So where are you at with that, man?
Yeah, I think really, really poor in-game management. I was very disappointed when you're putting in, I think it was 34 crosses and only 3 of them were successful. You've got in behind Burnley on maybe 2 or 3 occasions all game. Clearly, you need a change of setup, and I was very frustrated because, being at the game, I saw Sean Dyche on the touchline, very animated. He was calling in left back Eric Peters relentlessly, calling him in. Peters was doing the wrong thing, actually. He was leaving a wider gap between himself and the centre-back, where it would have given that channel to get him behind. It's one of the most effective sort of passes in football between centre-back and wing-back.
And that gap,
you can, thread the needle there, you're instantly in behind, and you've made the entire back line turn round and then run towards their own goal. Where the odds are in favour of the attacker then to play the way he's facing, which is the goal, rather than defenders who are having to clear the ball opposite way or putting it out for a corner. That's what Sean Dyche was insisting on not letting happen, and he did it very well. And that's why you see teams, they play that low block so that it's much harder for the weight of the pass to be perfect, less margin for error. Yeah, things have got to be really perfect. And they don't leave that space in, because often you think, oh, Saka's free on the touchline or Martinelli's free on the touchline, play it to them. As soon as you do that, the shape moves across, they're doubled up on, squeezes out, and that's how